Purdue as Mitchell looks for an answer.
Ooh, pure, nothing but net.
Garland to the basket, stole the inbound pass. He lays it in.
Basketball down there.
Very high percentage shot for him from that spot. Merrill for three. Tristan Thompson on the floor. Diaz for three. That's short. Hard rebound. Ricochets out to Merrill for three again.
For the We Like Sportz Show, tune in and see the latest the crew has to say regarding the latest sports topics nationally and locally. Make sure to check out our website as well, WeLikeSportsPC.com. Subscribe on all platforms, including podcast platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and much more. And be sure to follow us on X at We Like Sportz PC.
Started with Anderson and Ramirez.
He said, let's go, right? Yeah, I'm sure he wants the game to start, but they won't let it. And rightfully so.
And welcome to the We Like Sportz Show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus, soon to be accompanied by my guy CJ and hopefully Keith. They'll stop by, maybe Peyton. So we got a great show for you today. The great debate rolls on. It is 2024, and there's plenty of sports topics to go over today, so we're going to hit on that. Also, we had the All-Star game this past weekend in the NBA. We'll talk a lot about that and where these NBA teams go forward. I would say the second half of the season, but it looks like it's, a majority of the season. So, that's how they do it in the NBA. So we'll have to deal with that as well. Oh, look. We got our guy here, CJ. He can yell at me. CJ.
Cocksucker, you didn't let me in. I was fucking upstairs getting some banana pudding.
The intro, we had the intro, beautiful, huge.
Yeah,
beautiful
intro.
intro.
Huge. You should be like the We Like Cleveland intro because wasn't a whole lot of sports national, Saturday.
Well, here's what we thought about that. We make no bones about it. We are Cleveland centric, and when we have guests and other people from the national,
Peyton in Pittsburgh and Casey in Orlando.
There you go. See, now you're getting. What are we eating tonight?
Banana pudding right now.
Banana pudding. All right. Well, that sounds good.
Get a phone call.
All right. Well, all right. Well,
you're good. I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, see, that's my man's.
I locked the door. I'll be right back again.
Right,
I can hear you though. I'm coming.
All right. Sounds good. We'll get him off here real quick. So yeah, we'll go over that as well. But I guess what we can do right now is we can always pay some bills. That's right. If you want an energy drink that you can mix at home that doesn't give you the jitters or make you crash, if so, then try Dubby. Their products have no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin. Don't know what that is, but they don't have it. That's a good thing. No fillers and no artificial colors. And I know CJ is going to yell at me. Dubby has great flavors such as Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dub Spludge. So head on over to Dubby.gg. Use a coupon code We Like Sportz to get 10% off your order. Also, what you want to do
I got some W in here.
That's right.
I drink a little bit of W.
Snooze You Lose podcast. They talked to us the other day. Said he
was on fire.
He's on fire. That's what he said. He said he's on fire. So don't forget to check out the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe the Black Bookie. He'll get you set with his Sunday Snooze You Lose pick of the week.
It's like a dual thing.
On fire lately.
When Uncle Joe Black Bookie comes, right? And you guys use my bookie or whatever it is.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's right. Speaking of, because
come on, it's my pudding.
Yeah, well,
sorry, it's chaos right now.
You're good. You're good. Speaking of, because you did mention my bookie, CJ. If you found $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't walk past it. So don't pass up a chance at easy cash with MyBookie. MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill your sports needs anytime, anywhere, so you can turn that sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Bet on the NFL, college bowl games, or play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly blackjack tournaments. So if you've been waiting for the right time to get on the action, that time is now. Make your winning move today. Sign up at MyBookie. Use the promo code SPORTS with a Z and claim your deposit match redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code SPORTS with a Z to claim your bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. No, you're good. You're good.
This is not sponsored for us. It's a local business.
No, okay.
They told me to run the thing for their app. $3 Whoppers at Burger King. Burger King's a sponsor now.
Oh, Burger.
Yeah. I told you they gave me some merch too.
Oh well, did you get a crown? Did you get a crown?
May or may not be a crown, but
then what's the point then?
It may or may not be a crown.
Oh, there's a crown.
Yeah, got the merch going.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I go in there with my son, usually after a basketball practice or something, I always grab an extra crown just because you can never have enough of them.
Yeah, they're a new sponsor. Burger King sponsoring us.
Yeah.
We like Whoppers.
I actually got a double Whopper the other day, and that extra
on the app, double Whoppers, $7.99 meal.
Okay.
Just throw it out there.
Speaking of something, I got something that I heard on the radio today, and I want to see if this
Is it about cutting Nick Chubb?
No, it's not. We'll get into that. But I guess Kentucky Fried Chicken, or as the kids call it, KFC, is coming out with something that's been around since 2015 in other countries, but we're finally getting it.
Ooh,
it's like a pizza, they say, but it's 2 chicken, all white meat fillets with marinara sauce, cheese, and pepperoni, like a chicken parm kind of thing.
They just got to bring the double down back, man.
I kind of thought the same thing when they teased us with that a little bit, and then they said this new thing, and I was with the double down, is like what you said.
I'll say it's about KFC.
Who needs a bun when you have chicken for the bun, right?
I'll say it's about KFC. If their chicken sandwich was like had the chicken skin on it, like the thighs and shit do, theirs would be the best in the game. Make no bones about it.
So your favorite piece of meat is the thigh, right? Is that what you're saying? Or the skin of the thigh?
I mean, KFC skin, it just hits different. Like Rally's fries. Its own like categories and stuff. I gotta go my bowl upstairs so I'll forget.
Okay, sounds good. Well,
I'm here.
He's here. Well, one of my first jobs ever, pulling the curtain back a little bit, my first job when I was 16 years old was at Kentucky Fried Chicken. So.
Was when you were a gigolo.
Well, hey, that was later on in life. That was 17.
18. You can't be a 17-year-old gigolo, you weirdo.
You can if you don't want to get in trouble.
Ooh.
Hey now.
The gigolo.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. That's either here nor there. And the statutes of limitations are now over with, so I think we're good there.
Make it bigger or no?
Shout out to Angel or Angel, depending on Sammy. Hello, how are you? We're doing great. So
we're great. We're just vibing right now. I don't know if we're like waiting for
vibing. Got a Burger King crowns on, and
they're a sponsor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's always good. So you know what? We'll go into it since you mentioned it. So national reports, because they're always wrong because they're not really in touch with anything going on locally. But people are saying now because of the $12 million cap hit, is it possible that yours and mine, Cleveland Browns, could possibly part ways with one Nicholas Jamal Chubb?
I can't fix my phone. Listen, I was very adamant of like, there's no chance in hell this will happen. Then my brother sent a tweet to me, and it was like, I lived through Bernie Kosar being released. Why can't Nick Chubb? And I thought back about it. I was like, yeah, I mean, shit, we did get rid of Bernie Kosar. I mean, Bernie Kosar was Cleveland royalty.
Just like you are with your Burger King crown.
They're a sponsor. You gotta support the brand. There's probably you gave me, hey, take this crown on a We Like Sportz Show. But no, and I think it's one of those things where like, I mean, listen, you're only gonna be able to kick the can on the Watson money for so long before you gotta like face the reality that he's gonna, cost you from making tough decisions. And it does seem like, I like the cap's not real in the NFL as it is in other sports. But he's tore his ACL off for the second time, and listen, I got 2 jerseys. I own 2 jerseys. that aren't me, aren't like Cleveland Dukes jerseys. There's an AJ Green Georgia jersey because he was one of the guys that like attracted me to the team, and he's one of my favorite players. And I've been watching, but I was, like one of my first guys I could actually like remember. Like I remember watching David Green and Joe Cox and them. I had Nick Chubb jersey. I know we tell ourselves if anybody can come back from an injury like this again, it's going to be Nick Chubb, but I don't know. He's a running back. We're paying him a lot. It frees up space. I'm not saying we should do it, but that's a scary thought. It's a sad thought.
Well, I always throw up comments, even if there's not. But hey, shout out to Angel. Blake Snell signing with the Yankees. I think they're only team offering him a contract. And I know you care about Eric Hosmer. He retired today. So happy trails, Eric Hosmer. Happy trails. Thank you.
Yeah, no. I just, and listen, I know there's other moves they can make, but then I think we're also at the point though, like, Jerome Ford is clearly not the answer. No. You're only two backs on the roster, then would be Ford and Pierre Strong, and we know that we're even still there at the end. They were run first offense up until Flacco. So it makes you wonder, like, did they go get a Blake Corum out of Michigan or something?
Well, I was going to ask about that with the way the Browns. I think their first pick is 57, I believe, somewhere around there. That's prime spot to get a quality running back, and I know they need wide receiver help and lots of it. But, I'm to the point where I think you're right.
Well, it's weird because, like, the way the cap sound, but then they're like, linked to T. Higgins and stuff.
Well, I heard he's going to get franchised, but I don't think he'll play under that franchise tag. So there might be a holdout in Cincinnati. I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're still linked to, like, bigger name receivers. So it's like a weird thing with the Browns. And I think they need a receiver, but I also think they need, a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
They need linebacking help. They need,
My friend and I were talking the other day, and, I look at this Browns team, and I know we had 11 wins this year, but I can kind of see a regression with this team because there's so many holes that I want
like Minnesota 2 years ago.
Yes.
I felt like we won a lot of games that we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And that stuff's not really sustainable.
Yeah.
Left tackle and right, like left tackle's a question mark. If you
Every
move Jones over, then what's Conklin gonna be?
Well,
he's coming off a
I think we filled one of those spots because I think we got here. Let's bring him on. He's the voice of the Steelers, and when I say that, he's the voice of the Steelers on the We Like Sportz show. So, all right, Peyton, what do you got?
What do I got? Why are we talking about football? Why is CJ wearing a crown? Guys,
Burger King's a new sponsor.
He says it is. I'm not privy to those kind of conversations.
They upgraded my fries for free, man. I felt like that was sponsorship.
That might be.
I can get some free. Listen, I'm trying to bring. Listen, there's Chief Kingdom, and then there's
the Burger Kingdom.
Yeah, this is our kingdom. So we like Sports Kingdom.
Honestly, if you mark up a little bit on that crown, I'll let it slide. You just need to put We Like Sports Kingdom all over it.
They're a sponsor. They told me. That's the thing. Why else would they give me the crown? They're not just giving these out for free. Sour gold.
That makes a lot of sense. When people at Burger King tell me anything, I take it for face value. I do. I really do.
Dude, they got to be a sponsor of the show. They're an unofficial sponsor.
Is Burger King have it your way?
Yeah.
It just makes sense now. That's all.
It makes a lot of sense. There you go. So,
we're talking about the Nick Chubb thing because there's this reports out that the Browns could be looking. That's what somebody's saying. Are they putting these out as like feelers to gauge responses? And I saw somebody who was like, and you would know about January 6th. He said, you could have a January 6th in Berea. I can't imagine a world where some guy. They're just angry.
No names, please.
Because people are going to be angry if they cut Nick Chubb. He's the heart and soul of the team. They brought him out. The last game of the season, he's fucking smashing guitars. He's back. I don't know.
Hey,
no. And if he gets cut, every team in the NFL besides San Francisco will line up to sign him.
What about Derrick Henry to the Browns then? He's
Listen, I think we need a scat back. I've seen enough of Jerome Ford to be like, I don't even think he's like a viable backup.
What about, the Steelers right now? If we're going to end up talking Steelers, that's the main reason Ed brought me on.
We can talk it all.
Yeah, go, yes.
You got Jalen Warren, you got Najee Harris. And Najee Harris.
Yeah, but I feel like they're a good punch. I feel like Harris gets kind of like shit on a little bit. He puts up decent numbers, I think. And I think part of Harris, was he a first round pick?
Marvin Harrison?
No, I think
Najee.
Najee was first round or early second off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like, there's expectations that come with it, and running back is this tough thing, but like, look at the Browns historically. Who have we had since we come back besides like Nick Chubb and that like we found or drafted?
Harrison, that's backs that you could end up.
Harrison had like that one game.
Put your phone on silent, kid.
I know. Well, Peyton, this is a great time to talk about it because we're going to have an announcement, but and they announced it yesterday. But it
was the Burger King sponsorship.
Something, CJ, for 1 second, let's talk something. We actually have something real, here. Shout out to Michael and Mitchell Middlebrooks because guess what, guys? The We Like Sportz Network is getting huge. The 643 and Out X Space right now. They do a great Spaces on X, not the Twitter, but the X, because that's new right now. But they are joining us. And Peyton, tell us a little bit about it, because that's why you're here. We got to talk about this because hey, this is 2024.
He's not here
so
to
we're making big moves here.
He's the founder of the franchise.
If you have a crown on your head,
shut up.
I can take my crown off.
Yeah, and then
we do baseball. When we do baseball talk, I'll switch.
So, Peyton, what do you got about this big announcement we got? We're going to have them on next week, hopefully, to talk about it. They talked about it on their X space yesterday. But it's big things with these guys. They're the real deal here.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned to WeLikeSportsPC.com. We're actually having a wrestling department, CJ, believe it or not. So we're going to have more wrestling writers on board to talk about Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, finishing the story, a lot more. That's only the wrestling side. We're also going to end up having, I believe it's baseball too. And within the next couple of months, we're going to have coverage from all the teams throughout baseball. That's the goal overall. And speaking with Michael, speaking with myself, we got plenty of big goals. And when I'm telling you to hop on the We Like Sportz train, choo-choo, hop on, man. Hop on the train. WeLikeSportsPC.com, the We Like Sportz Network. Things are looking up this year. And CJ, shut off your damn phone.
Hey, they're calling already.
It's on DND. My phone's on DND. That means there's an important call.
Well, go take care of that then. It must be Burger King.
Yeah.
He might not be lying about that sponsorship.
He must not be.
They must have heard about the giant news. The huge news for We Like Sportz. But yeah, that's all for now that I'm going to end up saying. Ed, if you want to dive back in a little bit more in the show, feel free to. It's your landscape. I'm just living in it. I'm just going to give you guys the freedom, the preview to see what's going on later on. And if you notice that name right there, too, it's not just Peyton Vince. It's Peyton Vince and Sandusky tonight. I got Dan Barry against Lucas tonight, girls sectional finals for the radio station I work at. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. I'm going to have to end up heading out.
How do I get my AirPods back on this? I don't know what I'm doing.
We need somebody behind the scenes here. I think maybe that's what the new guys will come in and help us with, a little technical stuff as well. So, we'll see.
Just throw out your phone. That's actually how you put it on silent.
It was Burger. I'm sorry. It was Burger.
I called it.
Well, Peyton,
didn't I call it?
Yeah, you did. Well, Peyton, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for, providing some of this huge, big news we got going on. And we hope to have the guys on next week. And big things for the We Like Sportz Network in 2024.
Am I still co-president? Vice president, right?
It's CJ. You're literally the king. So shut up.
You're the king. That's right. All right. Peyton, thanks for stopping by, my guy.
I got to go, guys. Take care.
Let's go, Lucas. Who's your prediction? Lucas winning? What do you got?
Lucas? Honestly, Dan Barry, I think, ends up winning tonight. Dan Barry, and then more girls basketball throughout the week. We got Thursday out here. We got Saturday, a double shot. Sectional semifinals tonight, guys. If you're not on the train of high school sports, basketball in Ohio, boys basketball, girls basketball, don't miss out on it. There's, especially out in this area, out in Sandusky, stellar.
Is Dan Barry like a player, or is that the name of the school?
That's the city, CJ. Just like wrote the school for you.
Yeah, but that's not the name of the city. I thought maybe Dan Barry was a player.
Dan Barry.
Dan Barry. I thought maybe Cleveland. It was like Danielle Barry.
All right. Well, thank you, CJ. I think Peyton, just run.
I'm just gonna go before he pisses me off more. See you guys.
See ya. All right. Well, that was fun. So big news for the We Like Sportz network.
It's huge news. It's massive. It's a network now. We've gone beyond show, right? This is the show, but the network is our network.
Right.
I got the hiccups. I ate the banana pudding earlier.
Jeez.
Taking a dump, kind of getting phone calls.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think.
What are we talking about?
Well, we're gonna do this since it looks like it's me and you flying today. The greatest.
I'll be out of here by like 7:45. Just heads up. So we'll cut it early.
It's 6:20 right now.
No, I'm saying I don't know how long we're going for.
We'll go to 7. We'll go to 7 because we're gonna pack it in. We'll go
like 7:30. Well, I don't know. We'll see where it takes us.
7:15. All right. Well, until then, here's what we're gonna do. We'll just start the greatest, and the newest.
I have no mind. I'll just debate myself.
No. You got me.
That way I can win. No, it's gonna
here we go.
In 2024 and beyond, don't forget to tune in to
So we're gonna have the great debate. Oh yeah.
The We Like Sportz Show presents to you the Great Debate.
That's right. It is the Great Debate, and since
on the bottom of the video,
I have to go against you in the Great Debate. All right. The first, and I'll let you pick.
I got a coin. That's how I'll pick.
Okay. The first topic is LeBron is a punk for never being a participant in the NBA All-Star Game dunk contest.
Right. The heads, I'll say yes. Tails, I'll say no.
Okay.
Heads, I got. But yes. Yeah, he's a bitch.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. You have a minute and a half.
Go ahead. I'll watch the clock. Yeah, he's a bitch. I don't mean to say it like bluntly, but yeah, like once he started opting out, then everybody opted out. It was a rite of passage. He kind of ruined that for everybody. And then the slam dunk contest fucking sucks now. It's straight butt cheeks. And I think part of it is there's only so many dunks you can do that we haven't seen. But I just think it sucks ass. I think he ruined it. I honest to God, I'm sure, I'm a little tricked out of the NBA because I always wait till football season goes. I didn't know who Jacob Toppin was. I thought it was Obi again. I didn't know. Mac McClung, we got G Leaguers out here in it. The Mexican guy, Kenny Smith, couldn't even figure out that he was Mexican. He was confused by it. Jalen Brown, yeah, he was cool, but like his dunk sucked ass and he was in it. I just, what are we doing? We got hater judges. And I feel like, you could trace this all back to, LeBron. Because he was supposed to do it and he never did it. And we got denied, no Ja, no Zion, no, I'm trying to think. Blake tried to bring it back. I think he's probably the only top pick I can ever think of that's been in it. But he took those big names and he left us with fucking Jeremy Evans and Chris Anderson and the bums of that world. And just he ruined this dunk contest. And it's like listening to an old man talk about like the I formation. It's just gone. The dunk contest is nothing now.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to have to take a position that I don't agree with, but that's what part of the Great Debate's all about. I tend to agree with you, CJ.
Some asshole will be on the video like, it's not.
But for sakes of argument's sake, I got a minute and a half to say why LeBron is not a punk for showing the All-Star Game dunk contest.
Just be like,
okay, here's the reason why he's not a punk. Because everything LeBron James has done from a young age, he's always been criticized for. He does something right, he gets criticized for. I think that just goes with the territory of the new social media age and everything like that. If he would participate and not win, he's a punk for not winning. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Dominique. He's not, all these.
He's not Kobe.
He's not Kobe. Yeah. So it's a no-win situation.
He's not
there.
Clyde. Clyde won the dunk contest.
He's not.
Sorry, I'm on your side a little bit. I'm helping you.
I see that's the thing with these. But here's the thing. I'm going to say, I think maybe what he should have done is, maybe embraced it more of, maybe being a judge in one of the All-Star Game dunk contests, maybe doing something where he made a commercial making fun of himself for not doing it. LeBron.
He can't do one. He couldn't have did one though this whole time.
Well, like I said, I don't tend to agree with my position, but I have to for the Great Debate. Look, he will never be a punk because he won my city your city a championship.
No, he's still punk for the dunk contest. Dunk contest.
All right,
so
CJ,
cool.
you're right. You're right. I concede, CJ. I'm giving you the point. LeBron's a punk. You should have done the damn slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Really, my goodness. I mean, LeBron, you just go from the free throw line like MJ did, and you're gonna get a 50. I don't get it. Whatever. I mean, you're 6'8" with long arms. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, he could have done it once, like his rookie year 2, or like I'm saying, like before, like the first big contest. What's it gonna hurt? Who's ever gotten hurt doing the dunk contest?
And I'll say one thing too. It's not like not doing the home run contest, because a lot of batters in Major League Baseball, they do the home run contest the second half of the season. It fucks
but the big names do the home run derby. You know what I mean? Yeah. Occasionally we get a guy where it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, how did he sneak in here? Like, it's the big names that do it.
Oh, also too, CJ, I'm gonna implement this, and I broke it. So we're gonna try. I'm not saying we're not going to swear, but we're going to try less F-bombs. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get a collection going. So every time we drop an F-bomb, we got to give $1, and we're going to give it to charity.
Give $1? I'm going to be poor.
No, so I got one. I know I told Peyton I usually don't say the F word, but I was talking about Major League Baseball, and it just brings out the worst in me. So I'm not
supposed to say the F word.
Well, we're trying to be better.
I just said like 9.
Well, behind it, look. I was given a list of things, and the F word.
I was not given that list.
Well, I'm just throwing the curtain back a little bit. So I will try to be better, and it will go to charity. It will go to the Cleveland Food Bank. We'll give $1.
I don't give up. I'll just bleep. Can we just bleep? Do they bleeps? Can we edit the show?
After we already said it, I'm not that technical. I'm not that good at getting rid of things, so probably not. All right. Well, you're up 1-0. That's good for you. That's good for you. Second debate topic, because it's been really, really in the news, especially in Cleveland. Okay, here's the topic: the Browns should move to Brook Park or any surrounding suburb and get out of the city of Cleveland with their new stadium or possible new dome.
All right, I'll say heads. So heads they move.
Yeah, heads they move. Tails
do they stay in the stadium though?
Well, you can argue that they stay in. This is just a Cleveland. Right. You can argue that. That's the second point.
Man, I'm gonna reflip it. I don't think it's spun enough. All right, now I know what to do. All right, I got heads against them. Okay,
so
yeah, I'll say heads. Right.
Okay.
Because heads guarantees you a new stadium. Right. There's no promise that if you stay downtown that you get a new stadium. And I also think that, I'm not a fan of downtown. I think it sucks. Like, getting to the stadium now is a pain. Like you got to park far, then you got to walk far. There's no parking around the stadium, things like that. There's just no easy way to get to it. I think when you look at their practice facilities in Berea, that's their base operations. And listen, a suburb is a suburb. Cleveland, Columbus is Columbus, right? Columbus is Franklin County. Then there's cornfield around it.
Suburbs.
I don't think there's a suburb around Columbus. Outside of. I don't think that. There's some small ones, but not.
You've not been
right.
Columbus is the fastest growing city in America.
Yeah, I was saying Columbus itself has more people, but Cleveland as a metropolitan
that is correct. That is
larger. So I think that they should take advantage of some of those abilities. And I think the way, and I'm going to get a little technical here, I think the way you do that is base your stadium off of 480, because everything runs into 480, right? Like, to get downtown is you got to get to 90, and there's no really easy way to get to 90. And then you can also centralize a little bit. When you if you were to move the stadium, Parma, for example, I don't think people realize how big Parma is. Parma has more people in it than Dayton.
80,000 or so. It used to have.
Parma's 90,000 when you factor in Parma Heights, Independence, Seven Hills,
huge.
Park, Berea, Middlebury. You're talking well over 120.
A lot of pierogies there. A lot of pierogies.
And you're talking in that area, it's almost just as big as Cleveland.
Yeah.
And so I think that is something they should really look to advantage. You centralize the stadium, you build a dome, you get bigger venues, you get better venues. Listen, I love the stadium. I love being on the lake. It's cold on the lake. The wind sucks. I'm it's tough to find a kicker because we're on the lake. All these factors, but I definitely think you need a dome. I wouldn't be opposed to the Guardians getting a dome, to tell you the truth. I know they're redoing the stadium a lot, so and I'm excited for that, but I just think that with as much rain and snow and cold that we get, I would love to watch a football game and be comfortable, in like a big game. Like go to the playoffs. I don't want to go to the playoffs and be in a freaking snowstorm or cold.
Well, okay.
I know it's overtime.
Well, hey, I know this guy. I know this guy. You are my tag team partner because I was going to go up against CJ. Unfortunately, you are getting tagged right now. Your argument is going to have to be you are going to defend the Browns staying in the city of Cleveland, whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah, I'm the lakefront.
No, I know.
Damn. Okay.
Now you walked in at the right time.
I made some good points. I was like logistical.
I'm tagging in Dr. Eddie Black right now.
Just think about the uncharted land that can be used by the lakefront.
You're not helping your argument.
I would like to see them do more. And then we could.
I would love, honestly.
But like you know what I mean? Like there's just nothing around the stadium. Like
yeah, it's like
a waste. Like our whole lakefront, like it's on the shoreway, on the east side. Listen, man, I love the east side. You know, it's my place. I'm there in spirit with them. But like you know, from like the stuff just on like when you pass Dead Man's Curve and you're in like that east side, it's just not there. There's Burke Airport. Like there's no development. You know. It's just like, you know, we built a highway. Like, you know, you had all this prime real estate. You're going to build a highway.
This is what I would
say. Downtown, there's just nothing there.
This is what I say.
Go ahead, Keith. You got a minute and a half. Go ahead and say it.
If they choose to build a stadium on the lakefront, number one, it has to be a dome stadium or a retractable roof stadium. Number two, they have to have other stuff around that to make it a full-time attraction.
Yeah,
because you can't. The days are over with where you just build a stadium and just.
Well, I'm gonna tag team on that. I think if the Browns stay in Cleveland, it is the Cleveland Browns. That's my argument there. Also, too, what they should do is build the new stadium south of Progressive Field and the Romo Fijo, and build that Commons up. It was that Steel Yard Commons or whatever the name of it's called.
Yeah.
Build that up area. What they need to do is get that stadium off the lake, build restaurants, condos by the Great Lakes Science Center and in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Build it up, have a lakefront, kind of like even like Chicago. You can do
I like the idea of like the land bridge and stuff. And I think it's tough, right? When you look at how old of a city, you know, like Chicago, like burned to the ground essentially in like 1950s.
Yeah.
Like so, Chicago got to like rebuild. It's tough to navigate. Like I hate going downtown. Yeah. I do. I hate it so much. And especially the Browns games, just because it's so far away from everything. Like it's probably like 2 miles from Public Square to the stadium, and like you can't, you know, City Hall, you got to walk the rest of the way. Like, you know, it's just no easy way to get down there.
Yeah,
I think it sucks. And listen, I don't think if they move to Brook Park, I don't think they'll stop being the Cleveland Browns.
No.
And I hear stories about the Cavs in Richfield.
Yeah,
like obviously
Brook Park is no Richfield. Brook Park is no Richfield.
But yeah, like Richfield is nothing. You know what I mean? You got some stuff around you. You know, Brook Park's home to a lot of good strip clubs.
Hey, the resort at the
a lot of good cabarets. There's a lot of good working women in Brook Park, Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give the point to CJ on that one because I tagged Keith in, and you know it was a position we were gonna lose that one. I get it. Sorry to do that to my guy like that coming through.
I'm actually in favor of the Brook Park.
I know a lot of
Well, it's just closer to everything. You know, it's their base operations.
Yeah.
I think it just makes more sense.
Anything more? Feel free to add in anything more, Keith, about how your feelings are.
I love Berea. You know, I went to BW, honestly, great place.
Yes. Honestly, nice. If they build it out in Brook Park, I'm cool with it. To be honest, I'm cool with it. Because, Jimmy, if I'm trying to work with you and you're just shunning me or just saying what you're not going to do, then I got to go and figure out another route because you got to look, the lease is up in 2028. And guess what year we in? 2024. And you got to also know how long it takes to build a stadium. Anywhere from 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years.
I should build a dome.
Yeah, build a dome. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I know that's what they need. They need a dome.
Yeah.
The amount of possibilities of getting a dome can bring so much. Not as part of it, not just to the Haslams, but the city, right? You can get you got a better shot of getting the draft and things like that. Get Big Ten title games, maybe MAC. I mean, MAC, like whatever the case may be, concerts. You get Wrestlemania for all you know.
Yeah,
national championship football and basketball.
No, you'll probably host a bowl game. They'll probably.
So
give
CJ, are you saying this? We need to build a dome.
Dome. We need a dome, right? And we're gonna make Canada pay for
it. Yes, make Canada pay for it. There you go.
Or they can build like one of those roofs where you can see through the roof.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying. I think the dome just is the way. I know if the Guardians would build, I would love to see. I think Progressive Field's really nice.
But it's a drag going there in April.
I just think that I would love to see them. And on top of that, it's a drag going there on hot days. There's 95 degrees. You go to a day game in the afternoon. Listen, I've been down there. It's crazy how fast the weather can change, man. There was a day.
I've seen your attendance in Cleveland. Your attendance for Guardians games. Nobody's going anyways. Come on, stop it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I went to a game once, so it was April, dude. I was dying because it was a noon game. The sun is just baking on me right center.
The last Guardians game I went to was when they played the Houston Astros, and they came back and won an extra innings. It was the game was about 15, 16 innings, which happened to be on my birthday weekend, which happened to be the same night that the Cavs went to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals the last time.
Okay.
The baseball game didn't end until almost tip-off.
Wow. Okay, well, got to do something about
that.
I
want to see if I can find this real fast.
Greg Allen hit the home run to end it.
Oh, Greg Allen. Okay, we're talking 2018, right?
Yeah, and like CJ said, dude, it was so hot there. Oh, my God. Yeah. That sun was just bing.
Well, we definitely don't want to do
I went to a game. I'm pretty sure it's the lowest attended Guardians game ever. I found it. It was in 2018, April 10.
Wow.
No, this is a White Sox game. I think my brother told me. I wish I could find the game. It was Guardians White Sox. It felt like I literally could sit wherever I wanted. I had bleacher tickets. By the end of the game, I was behind home plate. It was the lowest attended game I've ever been to. I remember it was pick your own seat night. That's what we said.
Keith and I, we had pick your own seat night at Cleveland Municipal Stadium back
all the time.
My dad was with me. He was like, "This is what it felt like," and I was like, "Yeah, but wasn't that place massive?"
Yeah, it's 72,000.
Yeah. Let me tell you,
we're sitting in a 40,000 seat stadium before they did all the renovation. I was like, "Dude, this is crazy."
Think about it. I remember when I used to work at the stadium, at the old stadium, when I was a kid. I was about 15, 16. I used to lie about my age, try to sell beer and stuff, which I got it off. But I got it off because I was tall. So during the week, the Indians was playing the Yankees. It was more vendors there than it was people in the seats.
And then the Yankees would hit home runs, and Keith would be like, "Go Yankees!"
And that was in the 80s. Yankees was shit then.
Yeah, they were shit.
They was shit in the 80s. The late 80s, anyway, mid to late 80s, they were shit.
I have one more great debate point, and I'll have Keith go up against CJ on this one. And this one's a fun one. This one is, shout out to my mom, because she always said this: water quenches your thirst, and only water. So my great debate question is this: water is the best sports drink. Not these sugary products, whatever like that, but water is the best sports drink. And Keith, since you just came in here, do you want to take water, or do you want to go with the Gatorade and Powerade stuff?
Water.
Okay, Keith, a minute and a half. Water is the best. Keith, go.
It's nutritious. It's fresh. Well, I ain't gonna say fresh in all cases, but when I used to coach, that's all I had was water. I never went with Gatorade and stuff like that because it's sugary. It's sugary. But water is the best. And it's actually a drink that's free too. You got to pay for Gatorade.
That's true.
You got to pay for Gatorade. Water, especially ice water. ice water is the best.
Yes.
And think about it. If I win the league or whatever and I get dumped with the ice water, I'm just going to get dumped. I ain't going to feel no sticky and all that.
No sticky.
I ain't going to feel sticky. But water is the best. And that's all I got to say.
Hey, even out of a hose, when it's hot, if it's hot enough.
Hey, man, when you got that good hose
degrees, that good hose,
yes.
Man, that good hose.
Yes. When it's 100 degrees, and I used to take 2 coolers when I used to go do practice when I used to coach baseball and everything, both filled with ice with water. H2O. The Water Boy. Think about it. That's a movie called The Water Boy. Ain't no such thing as the Gatorade Boy.
Wow. Those are very compelling arguments. CJ, you have a minute and a half for a rebuttal. Or do you want to concede? Man. I mean, you may just you may just concede.
Oh, I lost my crown. Trying to think. I don't know, because I'm a water guy too. I'm not, listen, I'm not one of these fancy Gatorade kids. All right. Okay. I grew up and it was, being a coach's son too is, go fill that water up. Yeah. Now, sometimes you got a delicious treat. But I remember one time this kid put like a Gatorade powder in it. We're like, what the fuck is like this ain't water. You want some water?
More hey, that's $1 for the food bank. $1 for the food bank.
I was quoting somebody.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Okay, all right, fair enough.
But like I gotta go with Keith, man. It's not about
fair enough. All right.
You get that water, you load it up.
Yes.
Sometimes when I first started coaching, it was like I didn't even put the ice in. I was like, you take what you get. But I'm not gonna be picky. I see that big orange jug. I can't tell you how many times I dump that jug out and it's like still full. Like, man, what am I even bringing this thing for? But then you don't bring it, Ed. Every time you don't bring it, where's the water?
Exactly.
I remember that happened to me one time when I was coaching one time. Because at one time I used to work 12 hours. So my team had a game up at, I want to say Tremont. And my assistant coaches didn't bring the water and everything. And it happened to be a day that it was hot. And I was like, damn. I felt bad.
Where did you used to coach?
I used to coach at Kirby Field at DuPont on Glenview over there on 110th and St. Clair.
Yeah.
Where'd you used to coach at, CJ?
I still coach. I coach at Estabrook. We're all over the city. We play a lot of Brookside now. And now I'm at Rhodes High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How y'all looking?
We look okay. We lost the best kid in the Senate. He just transferred out.
Where you transferred to?
Some school in Pennsylvania. He moved.
Oh, well. I ain't
we
mad
still
at
have the best team, though.
Yeah. It's either your school or my old school, Lincoln West.
Yeah, Lincoln Mess.
Well, that will end the great debate. I want to CJ, you are the winner today. You are the winner. So
I ain't gonna tell you, CJ, what my son used to call Lincoln West. Because he a Glenville dude. So I ain't even gonna tell. I ain't gonna say it over the show right now.
No, that's fair. I know what we can say though.
But it didn't affect me when I was there.
I think it's time. This is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news. That's right. The Cleveland Guardians open up their spring training with pitchers and catchers reporting first. The date for hitters to report is still up in the air. They have to find some first. The Daytona 500 kicked off the NASCAR season this past Monday. The Super Bowl of left turns only winner William Byron's celebration took a wrong turn when he was cited by Daytona Beach police for failing to make a complete stop before making a right turn. And finally, the Cleveland Browns are looking at the possibility of moving to Brook Park, a suburb of Cleveland where Hopkins International Airport is nearby for a new facility. The mistake on the lake can be the resort by the airport. Now that's going for 2. Was that a Browns player or another airplane? Either way, touchdown. And this is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news.
You know what that can possibly happen over there about it? If the Browns do move out to Brook Park, they might build a ladies soccer stadium there.
I've been hearing a lot about that.
Something about 20, 30,000 seats,
Well, let's do this, guys. Let's get into our favorite segment of free whatever. Hey, whatever we want to talk about. Let's get a free one. You know what I do want to talk about? I do want to talk about this. We have to talk about the NBA All-Star game. We don't care. We're done with that. Okay. But let's talk about I wouldn't even call it the second half, because let's be real, the NBA, the way they do it, it's not, there's less than half of whatever like that. Let's talk about our Cleveland Cavaliers and what you see them going down the stretch and what they're going to look like. And we'll start with Dr. Eddie Black. Dr. Eddie, what is going to go on with the Cavaliers? And now there's no minute restrictions I see with Mobley and Garland. What's that going to look like, and how do you see it finishing? Did the Cavs finish with the 2 seed?
I will tell you this. You will definitely see where the Cavs stand in March, because they have Minnesota twice. They have the Lakers again. They have the Clippers again. They face everybody that's about worth something. They placed the Knicks twice. They face everybody that's about worth something in the league in March. And also, JB, hopefully he can get his rotation to a science. And enough with this experimenting with Sam Merrill in the first half, and then if he don't hit a shot or miss a shot or two, then you don't bring him in the second half. This is what the regular season is for.
Yeah.
Play Sam Merrill and play Porter more, especially now since you signed Porter to a contract now.
Yeah, 4-year deal. Right.
Yes, play them more. That's what they're there for. And then JB got to determine that rotation. Then also, Tristan Thompson will be back in March.
Yeah.
So I think the Cavs are going to finish somewhere in the top 4, but I'm not sure about the 2 seed right now.
Okay. CJ, your thoughts on the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, I'm still trying to find this Indians game.
I can tell you're looking for
something. Yeah, no, I think the Cavaliers, I think Keith kind of hit on a lot of it. This bench has got to be figured out. I feel like that was the biggest problem against the Knicks last year in the playoffs. I know it's weird to kind of just, all right, let's look forward to the playoffs. But it is. Let's see how we match up well. We played, I think the Clippers, might be the 1 seed out west. And we beat the Clippers pretty good. So it's weird to be let's see how the rotations still mesh when we're playing good, and it's about to be March soon. But especially among the starters, I'm Evan Mobley. I'll say this till he's my biggest question mark. Can he keep hitting enough threes to space the floor and make this a good team? They won a couple games, and I'm pretty sure Garland and Mobley both had negative plus minuses. So it's just seeing about how can they integrate them. Yeah, I want to see how they play against teams that we consider, big dogs. Minnesota's one. I see a lot of us in Minnesota. Yeah, the Celtics, the Knicks, all of them. So that's what I'm. Yeah, Denver. I feel like Denver's on cruise control until the playoffs. That's what I want to see is how do we look against these teams? Can we get up for big games, and especially in late in March and April? Big games in March and April are different than they are in November, December, January. You're going to see bigger crowds. Football's not going on. People want to do stuff. So how can they handle brighter lights as they go?
Contender, pretender. I got to just throw this out there because I'm very surprised at this team this year. And I don't know why. Maybe I should not be. Maybe I should be. Minnesota Timberwolves. Contender or pretender? Keith.
I will say pretender, because if you got to deal with the Lakers or Phoenix in the first round, that's hell. I'm going to be honest. But you got to beat LeBron. Think about this. If you get the Lakers, you got to beat LeBron and AD 4 times. And a fact with LeBron, he's never went out in the first round of the NBA playoffs.
Always a first.
And think about this also. If they get Phoenix in the first round, you got to go up against KD, Booker, and Bill. And Phoenix ain't really figured that shit out yet.
Right.
Then the team nobody's talking about right now is Golden State. They're somewhere lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, I think they're ass.
I know they're lurking in the shadows. They're playing better.
There's some assy shadows. Is that what CJ's trying to say?
I think they're ass.
They're playing
better ball, but it's outside of Steph. Clay's too hit and miss.
Yeah. And Klay Thompson coming off the bench now.
Yeah,
Well, who's a sleepy team, CJ, that you see maybe making the final? Could possibly make the final out of the West? I'm more looking at the West because I think that's more open. The East is still kind of. I think the contenders are still the contenders. It just matters if it's Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or Cleveland. Maybe the Knicks, obviously. But I think out West, you got those teams that are high up, seated high. But then you got teams like the Lakers and Golden State that are lower seated. But I think those are more of the teams that I like. To Keith's point, that I would fear more. So who's a team that maybe out of the like Minnesota that could actually make a run to the Western Finals or maybe even the finals?
Because LeBron has his usual drama anyway. So
yeah, that's right.
Look at the West. The West does have this big log jam. Everybody in the top 4 seeds is within 3 games of each other. When I'm looking at it like now, the way it stands, I'm gonna call them a sleeper just because of where they are in the standings. But it's Denver. Okay. Denver's the 4 seed. They're 36-19. They're amazing at home. They've been average on the road. They're 15-14 on the road. They know how to win road playoff games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Denver's not gonna. They're too good at home, and then if they go in, I just think they're a tough matchup for a lot of teams. The other team I think is really interesting. I kind of would have liked to see them maybe make a bigger move at the deadline, but because they have so many assets, because they have a good deal. So Oklahoma City. Right, there's something about like a young team to me with as much length and depth as they have, and they got a guy, and Shea's probably. I think he's a top 10 guy in the NBA.
He's an MVP candidate from what I'm
hearing. I just think he's a guy that you need a guy who's all right. Crunch time, go get me a bucket. And as much as I like Ant, Minnesota, I think they kind of get in their own way a little bit, and they're a little awkward. The Clippers are a bad fall from. For the next 3 years. But I do think that. Like the Suns are interesting. The Suns, it feels like they're a lot worse than 33-22. Right. If the Suns can figure everything out, there is. But I fall back to Denver. Denver's just so good at home. They're definitely good enough to go steal road games. I don't think the road record is associated with what they are.
Denver doing a Super Bowl shuffle right now.
Yeah, for a team coming up.
They like Kansas City, kind of, where it's the regular season.
Yeah,
they don't look that great, but then come play. Yeah, they turn it on.
And here's the thing, right? Like Milwaukee, right? They're 35-21, but they're below 500 on the road. Like Milwaukee just feels like a bad team on the road to me. Like it's different than Denver. Jokic is going to figure it out. Like, they'll go and they'll win road games because the style they play, and he's so freaking good.
I didn't hear it.
But yeah, and I think that's kind of just what it is to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I found this Guardians attendance game, but I'm not sure. I'm going to just keep checking.
I'll go to Keith right now because I got a question. Who's your MVP in the NBA right now, if you had to vote?
Shoot. Right now, I would have to say if everything keeps going right now, I'll probably have to say who?
Because I think right now it's pretty much Jokic. I think from what I'm seeing. But that's the easy answer.
Easy answer.
Anybody but. How about this? Like anybody but him. So give me somebody but him.
Shai Gilgeous.
That's what I'm glad you said. That's what
I got a different one.
Okay.
I'm shocked that he's not getting more love, especially from Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
You take
Donovan Mitchell too,
you take Donovan Mitchell off this team. He has single-handedly put the Cavs on his back. The fact that he's not getting more.
Why is that? Why do you think that is, CJ?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. He's a guy that is so freaking good.
Yeah.
And when you watch the game, like literally everything is just running through him. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's a Cleveland thing or whatever the case might be, but he's just a guy that I do not understand how he's not getting more love nationally for what he's doing.
I think what it is, they remember the Cavs from last year. When they was a shook.
Yeah, that could be it. And he's a big number. He is a big numbers guy. I think I found the game.
When they were the shook ones last year.
Shook one, yes.
I think I found the game.
Okay,
I'm gonna come back to another one. It's either this year or like the next year after.
So, I mean, honestly, and even Donovan said that in an interview on NBA today. He said that the reason why a lot of people are not, how can I say, paying the Cavs that much attention is because of last year in the playoffs, how they went out.
Yeah. They played like cream puffs last year.
Ain't no such things as halfway
crooks.
Sugar Williams was bumping all the way through Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. CJ obviously has not found what he's looking for, and that's fine.
But the Cavs,
I think I found it. But
you said that 5 minutes ago.
I'm pretty sure I found it. I'm just going through a couple other games. I do. I think Mitchell's the guy.
But I will say this.
It's got to be that game.
Yeah, go ahead.
It might have been a blessing in disguise for them to get whooped like that last year, because I think this team is going to go basically off Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell is going to have to be that guy to hold the rest of the guys accountable and get in people's faces.
This was a day game. This is definitely the game. All right. Wednesday, April 11th, 2012. The Chicago Whites came in to take on the Cleveland Indians at a 12:07 game.
Oh, wow.
The paid attendance was 9,072. I swear to God, there were 700 people there. I remember being at the game. My brother had a green Adidas hoodie he would wear. And I saw him. I was in the bleachers and I saw him behind home plate.
Wow.
I remember it so vividly. They gave up 4 runs in the first. Justin Masterson got the loss. Alejandro Diaza, AJ Przinsky both went deep. The lineup wasn't that bad for the Cleveland Indians.
Wasn't that in the Manny Actor days?
This might have been the Manny Actor days. 2012 it had to be. It was the end of that division.
Yeah,
Michael Brantley in center field. Through the first, this is 5 games into the season. He was hitting 59 after this game with a 230 on base. Asdrubal Cabrera batted second. He was your shortstop. Shin Chu in right field. He was hitting 167. Carlos Santana batted 4. He was hitting 211 with a 400 on base. Travis Hafner was hitting 5. Shelley Duncan was the starter.
Shelley Duncan, former Yankee.
Casey Kochman was hitting 95 at first base.
Yikes.
Jason Kipnis was at second base hitting 95 as well. Casey Kochman's on base was 95. Then Jack Hanahan was the third baseman. He was hitting 313 after the game. The Guardians that day pitched Justin Masterson, Dan Wheeler, who I don't know, Rafael Perez, Jenmar Gomez, and Jairo Ascenso.
What was the attendance? Does it give the attendance again?
The attendance that game was 9,072. It was a 3-hour long game. The White Sox went up 4-1, and then they were up, 5-4 at one point. Then they had a 5-run 6th inning. I'm sure at that point my dad asked me if we wanted to go, but we rode it out. Guardians made 2 errors, just straight up beat down. Can't believe it. I didn't have to go to school that day, though. So
what was that? Well, you said that was April 11, 2012?
2012. I was in junior high school.
I'm going to go back to the Wayback Machine to April 11, 20 years prior, 1992. I, a young Ed in North Olmsted at the time, went to the home opener of the Cleveland Indians against the Boston Red Sox. And that game went to 19 innings. Unfortunately, it was I think the home opener had 60,000 people that game because that old municipal stadium. And like I said, we lost in 19 innings. But a young Ed in North Olmsted stayed the whole time. And thanks his dad till this day, because at that time, my dad was working in Columbus at the Columbus Dispatch, worked a double shift, drove all the way back to Cleveland, and we went to that game and spent 19 innings.
April 11th, 65,000 on hand.
65,000, and I was one of them.
After that, doesn't have the attendance for the 12th, or no, that was both.
Yeah, it probably wasn't.
The 12th was a day-night doubleheader, or a doubleheader. Monday, April 13th, they took on the Detroit Tigers for a 5,000.
Yes, he went from 65,000 to 5,000.
14th on a Tuesday, they went for a 4,000 people.
Yep.
4,080.
We were social distancing before it was cool.
My goodness.
Yeah.
May 4th, 1992, they took on the Kansas City Royals in front of 3,900 paid attendance.
In a stadium that held 72,000.
Right.
Keith, and the OGs know. Keith, the OGs know.
Yes, sir. Man,
oh my goodness.
Those was the dark ages.
Everybody
trying to see if I
about,
could find a game with lower attendance than that.
I think there was one game I went to. This might have been 1990 or 89 when they lost 105 games. There must have been like 2,000 or something. So
here we go. 91, they lost 105 games.
Yeah, it was 91. Okay,
low attendance.
Yeah, there was some good stuff back.
I can sort by attendance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go. September 9th, 1991. The 44-93 Cleveland Indians took on the Boston Red Sox in front
44-93.
In front of 1,600.
Oh, wow.
95 people.
That was at the old stadium.
Makeup game.
Oh, my God.
Who made them play that game?
I know, jeez.
Boston had to be in contention then.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, 1,000?
1,000. Under 2,000 people. Trying to find a really bad season.
Now, I believe in Oakland, talking to, about the Oakland Athletics and about their possible, I think they had like 973 or 928 last year. Yeah, and I think so. I was wondering if there was any figures that you could find, CJ, that had in the Indians game under 1,000. Now, I don't know if that's. I think they were always
last year. Last year, the A's actually had a higher attendance than they did 2 years ago.
Wow.
They did 3 years ago.
Really?
3 years ago, they had 701,000 people at A's games.
Wasn't that team in contention 3 years ago? Because that was with Matt Chapman and all of them.
They were 86 and.
Yeah, well, they up until a certain point. Yeah.
Yeah, they was actually decent then. Wow.
And Matt Olson and all them, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna be this year.
Well,
or do they got a place to play?
I think they had the Coliseum this year, and then the
question for you guys. Now, I'm glad we're talking about this. Is okay. So obviously, the mayor of Las Vegas, she said during the Super Bowl, she kind of hopes Oakland stays in Oakland. But here's the thing: Major League Baseball announced this week 2 more expansion teams. What cities get the expansion team?
Nashville definitely gets one.
Yes,
I think it's just no doubt about it. And as much, I think it's kind of becoming Seattle of the NBA. I feel like Montreal is ready again. If Montreal is not.
Yes.
Somewhere in Texas, right? Whether it's Austin or I think Austin could do it.
Okay.
Austin or San Antonio.
It will not be Portland. It won't be Portland.
No, Portland's terrible. There's homeless people everywhere.
Yeah. It might be.
I'll say it.
And
but I feel like Montreal. I feel like we were too soon on Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal, Rosenberg. I feel like Vancouver could host an NBA team.
Yes.
Right. Like Canada's different now. So I think that is. But I think part of the coolness of Canada is they do have one team that kind of makes more buy-in. But I think Nashville for sure, right? Vegas isn't a baseball city. And I'll say
that's kind of the mayor.
Why the NFL works though is because you go there for a day and you have a weekend at Vegas. That doesn't work in baseball.
They don't want the traffic either. They said they don't even want. They don't want the traffic.
Yeah, because they said that traffic gonna be impossible.
Kind of screwed themselves over. They played their hand. I could see the A's moving to somewhere in Texas. Right. Okay. So if you go Montreal and Nashville get a team, because Orlando's done now. With Tampa Bay getting a new stadium, Orlando's off.
Yeah, they're done. That's too close.
So give me the A's move to like Austin or San Antonio. I could be behind that.
If I'm the A's owner, I'm going back because I thought they almost had a stadium deal done, and I would just go back
to the city veto. I wouldn't want to be there.
Okay.
I just looked at the numbers. Looking at the numbers, like, you put a good product out there, and they were. And listen, I had a conversation with my oldest brother about this. We were talking about the A's. I was like, Oakland feels like a good baseball town. Let's feel like the crowds feel raucous. Look, when you look at the attendance, man, they're just not there.
Well, you could say that about the Guardians.
I bet the Guardians have higher attendances than the A's.
They do.
Come on. I'm
last year.
I mean, we're still like ranked 28th though, right? I mean, 20. I mean, we don't do.
Didn't the Guardians draw like 1.8 million last year?
I think it's 1 point. Yeah,
which is a million more than the.
That's a lot.
A whole lot.
That's a lot.
We haven't drawn close to A's numbers since '85. Would be the last time we drew under 1 million fans.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe we're not so bad.
But under 1 million, right? We said last year we drew 1.8 million fans.
Wow.
Right? And that was a bad team.
Yeah.
That was a bad
team. The year
team.
Before that, back-to-back years, 1.2, 1.1. But to come back 1.8, I think part of it is just we're not a good weather city either. Like, what was the playoffs?
Makes a good point about the April-May games at Progressive. Yeah. They're horrible. You're 20, 30 degrees. It's cold.
They're so bad. And I listen, I think baseball's got a problem with that as a whole. But I just, I think it's time to close the chapter on Oakland. And it's tough to do. It is. It's tough to be like, this team.
You're going to make somebody cry, and we're not going to mention it.
It is, though. It's tough. But it's just, it's not. You got the Giants.
I know. They hate each other. They're not.
But the Giants are so much better. That's why the A's hate.
But if you're an Oakland fan, you're not a Giants fan,
and that's fine. Go rep the team when they move to San Antonio or Austin.
They should have built a new stadium. They should have built a new stadium in Oakland.
I'm sure people are saying this, but same time, when Modell moved the Browns, they should have ponied up the money. They should have built a
CJ wanted a Baltimore Browns shirt, I heard.
But that's kind of where you're at. You either support the team after they move, or whatever. Look at the Rams.
Because the
Chargers moved out of San Diego. Does anybody even notice?
Nope, nobody say nothing about
that. I still call them San Diego.
I still call them San Diego. That's what I'm saying. I just think that this Ace thing, I listen. I don't want to say it, but I just
say it.
I still think
we have you here, CJ, for your mouth.
Ray should move out of Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Right? Some cities, man, it doesn't work. So why try to force it? It's like the NHL always, whenever they talk about expansion, Atlanta.
CJ, you try. Casey will fight you over that.
Yeah, well, Casey likes going to the A's. Dude, listen, Raisian, I don't know how they don't draw more. Casey, one time.
I don't know how they don't draw either.
He had like 12 beers in front of him. He was like, I paid $20 for all this. There was a country concert after the game. I don't know how the Rays are drawing better crowds. I don't know if St. Pete's just that much of a dump.
And for the last 10 years, they've been good.
They've been good.
They've been good. They ain't been horrible.
Listen, and I'll say this about the Indians, Guardians, whatever. It's just they'll always be like third in the town.
Yeah,
they're behind the Cavs, and they're so. And the other problem is everybody's so far behind the Browns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Like it doesn't matter. The Guardians could be in first place, and if it's July, you turn the radio on, they're going to be talking OT.
They're talking about training camp.
Right. We're going to talk more about the draft, and we don't even have a first round pick, and we are going to be about spring training.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I'm guilty of it. I love the Browns. I would sacrifice a lot for a Browns. If I was like, I would cut off my left foot for a Browns Super Bowl. I swear to God.
Really? If the Browns go to the Super Bowl, the whole city of Cleveland going to be where they are.
I would burn this city to the ground.
That's fine. I'd rather burn the city than take off my left foot.
It'll be the greatest night of my life. When the Cavs won the NBA Finals, it was like, I'm not a big Cavs guy, but it was like cool. Like I was stoked about it. Like when the Guardians lost the World Series, I cried.
I did too. I was
man enough to admit. But if the Browns won the Super Bowl, I don't know what I would do with myself.
Well,
I don't know.
We're gonna come on live right away and to see your initial reaction.
I would be downtown. Just I don't know.
Okay.
Just with everybody, I would just be in the chaos.
Man, if the Browns win the Super Bowl, this whole city gonna turn up.
Yeah, it'll be the greatest. But that's what I'm saying. Like, right, certain towns, it just means
it's a Browns town.
It's a Browns town, right? Yeah. Detroit is Lions.
Yeah, they love their Tigers, though.
They do. They like their Tigers.
And they're Red Wings.
Yeah, they like that. But at the end of the day, football's king.
Do you think Cleveland? Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I want your opinion on this. You see the cities like Detroit, and I know they're a Lions, but they love their Tigers, they love their Red Wings. Is Cleveland maybe not that good of a sports town? Maybe it's just a Browns town that just happens.
No, I think the thing with it, I think the Browns are appreciated more. Right? Like even when they're dog shit. Because
people
they got taken away. They got taken away.
CJ, are Clevelanders, are we cucks for the Browns no matter what they do?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this one guy, he had a video he posted, and it was like, look at your poor brother over there. He's out there with nothing. And I give you everything. And he's like points at the Browns logo. It's like, I give you everything. And you do this to me. He's like, I'm not going to talk to you until about Thursday.
Yeah. Think about it. All those people that came when they went 0-16.
I was at the last home game. The last home game when they were 0 whatever. I went.
You talking about against the Ravens?
Yeah,
yep, I was there too.
I was so close. I paid somebody for 2 tickets to go to that game. This guy was like, I got like suite level tickets, and I was like, I'll give you $20 for both of them. I gave somebody $20 to go watch. I think Deshaun Kaiser was the quarterback.
He was.
To go watch Deshaun Kaiser. I remember Isaiah Crowell.
You could have just burned your money instead.
I'm pretty sure Crowell broke off like a big run. Yeah. And after the game, Hugh Jackson was like, well, I could have ran through that hole.
He broke in a big run, and then Kaiser or somebody fumbled.
Yeah.
Yes. Watched that. They were winless in December. I was like, oh my God. I remember I stayed for the whole game. Game.
And I remember a guy that was sitting right behind me got the cussing, throwing a fit when whoever Kaiser did, whatever the Browns did, they'll find ways to lose. Yeah. He just be like, damn, this can't be real.
2017, I want to see if I can find the game log. I just how bad.
Reliving glory days here on the We Like Sportz Show.
Diving deep into the bag here. Let's see if I can find the game
also,
log.
I got something to suggest that y'all watch too.
Yes, go ahead.
If you watch Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp.
Oh, I saw that with Johnny Manziel, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. He had some interesting.
Gotta watch it.
Yeah,
some interesting stuff. Yeah. And he has some interesting comments about his time with the Browns too.
I'll say this about Johnny. I was very excited when they drafted Manziel. But I think the thing that I like about Manziel, like posts, is like he's just owned everything.
Yeah.
Right. He just owned it. Like he's not.
He didn't blame nobody.
Right.
He blamed himself.
Like he's accepted, and I'm sure. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure the team enabled a lot of the shit he did.
Yeah.
They could have held him more accountable with some of the stuff. But like I just like that he's owned.
I'm never gonna forgive Mike Pettin because he's a gym teacher. Here's the thing. So
I thought Mike Pettin sucked so bad. I remember when he got hired. I didn't even try see. And my brother called me. He's like, "We hired Mike Pettin." I was like, "Who the is Mike Pettin?"
It's funny.
You drafted a quarterback in the first round. Johnny Manziel was the first round draft pick. He had just beaten the Tennessee Titans when Benjamin had 2 bombs and they won 28-14. The next week, Mike Pettin should have kept him starting. Instead, my wife went to the Raiders game that was open at the time, and McCown threw an interception to loss. Who drafts a first-round quarterback in the league? They get a win, and then you bench him the next week. Who does that?
Well, you know what Johnny said. Johnny said Mike Pettin didn't want me anyway. He didn't want to have nothing to do with it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
And he said, like, the first day of practice, he said they went 8 DBs of practice. I said,
Deshaun Kaiser that game was 20 of 37 for 146 and 2 picks.
Oh, my
And he fumbled.
Wow. That's the fumble he keeps talking about.
Yeah.
147 yards and 20. What is he averaging? 3 yards a pass? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Isaiah Crowell had 5 carries for 72 yards.
Wow.
Duke Johnson went 7 for 23. And I remember after the game, they had asked Hugh Jackson, like, why did you give Crowell more carries? And they're like, broke off the big run, but like I could have ran through that hole.
Okay, Hugh.
Hugh was something else.
Josh Gordon had 5 catches for 47. Steph DeValle had 2 catches for
That's right. He was a tight end.
Yep, the tight end.
Corey Coleman had a catch for 16 yards. Higgins had 2 catches for 10 yards. And Sammy Coates had a catch for 8 yards. David Njoku was on that team. He had 3 targets, no catches.
He was a rookie.
Yeah, we're able to get the ball more to Steph DeValle and to David Njoku.
Well,
that defense is so. I couldn't tell you who half these guys are. I remember them.
Only one he had was Myles Garrett. Was on that team.
Carl Nassib on that defense. I used to really like Nate Orchard. He was on the defense.
And think about this. The Browns in that draft, along with Myles Garrett, could have had Deshaun Watson. They possibly could have had Mahomes. But they did the trade down.
Did we take Corey Coleman?
No,
we took Corey Coleman in 15.
Oh, 15. Oh, that's right.
And Peppers in that draft, I want to say.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's a blur to me, and I tried to forget every step of the way there.
They traded down for like 3 straight years in the first.
Yeah, they always used to trade down. That's the thing. Freaking all right, Browns on the clock. All right, trading down.
Yeah. Analytics.
Yeah, we traded down, and Texas took Watson.
Yep.
Really good players on the board there.
Yeah. Yikes. Well,
I remember we took Njoku before TJ Watt. I wanted to say TJ Watt.
Yeah, you did.
Let me ask y'all something real quick. Did y'all see the thing where they was talking about the Browns should trade Deshaun Watson to the Giants for Daniel?
Yeah, and a second for freaking.
I was like, what?
Mike Tannenbaum, I think, said that.
Some people get fired for a reason,
Yeah,
I see. I see why you're not a GM in this league.
Yeah. Some people get fired.
Watson has not lived up to his contract, nor has he lived up to his playing. But when he did play, I mean, the 14-14 in the Ravens, I've never seen Danny Dimes.
Oh, Peyton just texted me some breakhead news.
Oh, what did he say?
Apparently, Adrian Peterson's hosting a real estate sale where he's selling multiple pieces of memorabilia, including his MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Offensive Player of the Year trophy.
Well,
really? But he went on Power Hard Times or something?
He must be.
What about the switch that he had on his kid? He used the switch. Is he selling that?
Wow.
Well, you never know how hard up some of these athletes get, and you never know what treasures you might get for a bargain price.
Yeah.
Like they say, that's why you got to manage your money when you're in the league, because you're only there for a short time. And Adrian Peterson played for about 15 years.
You think like he could get an analyst job or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know guys fall on tough times, but you think like somebody like him could like go be an analyst somewhere? Maybe he wants to work for the lot.
Well, he was boxing against Plexico Boris or no, it was against Le'Veon Bell or somebody. I think. Yeah.
Man, wow.
Yeah. So, well, that sounds like fun. Hey, before we go here, because I know Keith, you came on a little bit later. Is there anything else you guys want to go into? Anything WWE real quick? CJ, what do you think? Cody Rhodes, hey, I still think he's going to finish the story.
I don't know. I think they're going to do the same stupid spot. He'll kick out. I don't know. I mean, we're on the road to it. Are you going to watch
Elimination Chamber?
Are you going to wake up for it or just watch it later?
I'll watch it later, probably.
I don't know. Yeah, those pay-per-views, I have a tough time with them. I'm not going to wake up. I'm going to wake up to a million freaking notifications on my phone about what happened, and it'll ruin it for me.
Also,
I do the other thing. I like watching with my dad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, another thing before we go, breakhead news: the November 16th Ohio State Buckeyes game at Northwestern will be at Wrigley Field.
Oh, okay.
I thought like the 1 year. I might be wrong. It might not be Wrigley. It might be somewhere else. Couldn't they only go one direction?
Yeah, that was yes.
Was that Yankee Stadium or was that at Wrigley?
I think
Wrigley Field.
It was at Wrigley.
Is that Wrigley's? So it's got to assume it's going to still be the case, right?
I don't know.
More than likely.
Well, it's going to be the Buckeyes just keep
They're going to be stadium too.
One way.
I mean, last year they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't
know.
I mean,
you shall see.
We shall see. And and also too later on tonight at 10 p.m. Check me out.
Peyton in the thing put up that we were talking spring training. We've talked spring training.
Yeah, we did. We're going to talk spring training. Gordy, I talked pitchers and catchers and breakhead news. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Not too early predictions. I did say that in the thing. So I'm not going to lie. Not too early predictions. I'm going to say the Guardians win the AL Central.
I've been very adamant. I think the rest of the division's ass.
Yeah.
I can say ass, right?
No, you're allowed to say that.
Okay. I just don't know the list.
Yeah.
There's a list of words that we can't say.
And I think the Yankees finish in third.
Excuse me?
Are there any who's this?
Toronto and Baltimore. Toronto and Baltimore finish ahead of them.
Toronto and Baltimore are only renting.
Okay.
The Yankees are the tenant.
Who's your manager? Who's your manager?
Boone right now.
Well, that's your problem.
Next year,
good manager.
That's your problem. We know Tito's coming.
Tito's coming to say the Yankees next year. But for the Guardians, if they keep Tristan McKenzie healthy, if they don't trade Shane Bieber, and if they don't trade Emmanuel Clause,
His velo's up.
See, CJ just pissed in the Cheerios.
94 in recent outings. He's switched up.
I saw his little pitch performance.
Yeah. I think I think somebody else in the bullpen has to step up.
McKenzie.
I like Scott Barlow, but Scott Barlow, no.
McKenzie to the bullpen, like he said.
McKenzie's not to the bullpen.
That's what I would do.
He throws too slow, man. I like him, but I don't think he
don't have to worry
Carlos
about.
Carrasco's going to make this team and be a weapon out of the bullpen.
Cookie crumbled years ago. The cookie crumbled years ago.
No, he's going to be useful out of the pen. He's going to give him
like a 4-star run average.
Carlos Carrasco going to be the Tristan Thompson of the.
Yeah, all right.
You
better take those PEDs then.
You need somebody out of the pen to help eat up innings so you don't burn your bullpen out.
You mean to get rocked while they're losing games?
Not to get rocked, but you need guys to be useful in the bullpen.
So otherwise,
think about you need somebody to be like Dan Otero and shit.
Okay.
You need somebody to be like Dan Otero and shit. Like last year, we didn't have that, right? When they got down, they had to use guys they use like De Los Santos and Eli Morgan, right? Guys you needed in high leverage situations.
Book of Eli.
They burned out the bullpen by May.
Yeah,
they did.
By May, the bullpen was
maybe with Stephen Vogt, maybe with having a catcher,
there was just no reinforcement, because bullpens are cyclical. You can never predict what you're going to get. Karen Check, but there are guys, right? Like Karen Check, he's somebody that you're hoping to go out. Like you saw in spring training that the pitch clock was messing with him.
Yeah,
right. You're like, oh crap.
Yeah,
I'm doing a good job censoring myself.
But it all depends if they're going to get hit in from any of the outfield prospects.
No.
I saw something. We've had a different, I think, right fielder every opening day for 15 years. Mm-hmm. I think it was right fielder, which surprised me because Chu, but also Chu was.
But that was
a while ago.
Yeah,
they haven't had a right fielder since Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
And you also got to look at Miles Straw going to compete for a spot too this year. Here.
Miles Straw and Ramon Laureano both suck ass.
Right.
Well, that's why we're not talking baseball anymore. Well, thanks for that rousing.
Well, I'm just saying they both suck. Ramon Laureano, he's a slightly better version of Miles Straw. That's I don't want to use the analogy I'm about to use. I'm not going to do it.
Do it.
Because that could
do it.
It's like saying one person with Down syndrome is smarter than the other.
You shouldn't have done it.
That's what it's like saying. Ramon Laureano sucks.
Okay.
They both are no good. So I remember I love Tito, but at the end when Laureano was batting 4, I was like, what the hell are we doing?
That's what I said.
Give me a healthy job. Listen, I like it. There's some talks about moving Jose to second in the batting lineup. So if you go Jose or Quan, Jose, Naylor behind him, give him some protection. If I don't know who bats 4 in that lineup,
Bo.
Bo had a really good. Bo, listen, we were in the argument of would Bo hit his weight, and I was wrong about Bo Naylor. I'll say it.
I was wrong about Bo Naylor. Bo. If you look at that lineup, the
dude that got in the Rule 5 draft, that I cannot for life. I think his name might be.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
I don't want to be but something Hispanic because he's Hispanic. But they got him. They're talking about moving him to the corner outfield. He's at third. He is ripping the ball from what I've seen. Can he do it?
Then they got Arias too. Still,
yeah, Arias stinks. I'll stand by. Well, here's my thing with all the shortstops they got. Right, Arias.
They don't even got him listed on the spring training roster as a shortstop.
All of them. Right, they're just not shortstop. They are hyper fought. I would just move Jimenez to short because he's the best defender of the bunch. Yep. And let them Tyler Freeman doesn't have the arm to play short, but he'd be a really good second baseman.
Right.
I like Tyler Freeman. I like
Freeman too.
I just don't think he's a consistent everyday player. And I know there's different people that are oh, they get rid of him. Watch him he's not going to be a 30-30 guy. He just don't got that. Arias or Arias, whatever. He's too inconsistent. He can't my brother would be like, oh, he hit another home run. And it's like, oh yeah, well he went 1 for 4.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's got 3 hits this week.
We lost 5-1. He hit a home run.
Yeah,
right.
we got 3 hits this week.
Now you think Rocchio makes the team?
Brian Rocchio,
unless he starts.
Yeah,
I think
Okay.
whoever him or Freeman are going to make. I think Arias will make the team, or Arias, however you say it. He can play first base. Arias is going to make the team for sure.
Yeah.
So I think whoever they take out of Rocchio and Freeman. But then they got the other guy. I think he's a second baseman they got for Nolan Jones, Brito. He might have been. Yeah. I don't know. We got a million middle infielders. We got a million. Cleo Watson's another one, right? They just take chances on the guys. It's like I remember when they traded Nolan Jones. I was upset about it.
Still are.
Got to come to your piece, man. I haven't yet, but
we had a rummage sale. We gave away all our outfield prospects that year.
Yeah.
You gave away Nolan Jones. You gave away Will Benson.
Benson was a guy that I understood. I felt like he was never going to figure it out. He just struck out too much. And then he went to Kansas or Cincinnati and stopped striking out. Yeah, he stopped striking out.
Right.
The K rate just like and like that was something I know we talked kind of to the reporter about it when we had him on last week. You know, there's got to be something with their hitting philosophy that just isn't resonating with young hitters. Because outside of I cannot think of somebody outside of like Quan that has came up completely through their system and has developed into a good hitter. But like Naylor, he was with San Diego.
Maybe they need to go have a talk with CJ. I see you get the championships and you know how to win.
That's I'm the Yankees of the summer. We just stack the deck. I always say, man, Yankees just gotta go out here and spend the money. You got the money to spend it.
Well, we can't go a show without mentioning the Cleveland State Vikings. Keith, can we have a Cleveland State Vikings update?
The Vikings defeated the Youngstown State Penguins at home 81-73. And it was a good ass game. For real. I was watching that before the triad committee came on. Then I had to go off. But Cleveland's good game. Also, the women won earlier that day, too.
Nice.
Because the women are like 22-4 in first place.
Whoa. Hey now. Okay.
And the men are 16-11.
Okay. All right. Well,
hopefully they'll make it. I always think the girls' names make me laugh because a lot of times they'll be like, oh, they're the Lady Vikings or the Lady Volunteers. Because then there's South Carolina, they would be the Lady Cocks.
Well, think about it. They lead in score. They lead in score from last year got hurt. And she's out for the season. She got hurt early in the season.
Well, nowadays, especially with with Ohio State, you don't call them Lady Bucks. It's the women's team now. They call them the women.
They call them the women's team. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's a lot of that time where it's like, you know, the Lady Buckeyes.
Yeah, like the Lady Vols, the
Lady
Vols,
the Lady Volunteers. Yeah, but then it's, you know, I saw like a graphic.
Just
like
say it again.
Georgia, like Lady Bulldogs versus the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Lady, you want to say it again?
Why aren't they the Lady Cocks?
Lady Cocks. Lady Cocks.
Lady Cocks.
Shoot. Then also shout out to Ohio State. The Ohio State men's team defeated Purdue.
Diebler, is he staying on? Or I saw some big names on that list. I saw Jay. What's the dude from Villanova? Jay White.
Yeah, Jay Wright.
So a lot of, like the targets for them. Or
I'll say this: I think
Bruce go to Ohio State. Let's make it.
I hope Jake Diebler. I hope he goes on a run. Just there was a guy for Michigan, Steve Fisher, in 1989, got the job and took the Michigan Wolverines all the way and won the national title. I'm not saying that this Buckeyes team has chances of doing that, but I would like to see Jake Diebler make a Big Ten tournament run. Hey, why not?
I think it's funny because we talked about like Holtman too, like a couple weeks before he got fired.
He should have been fired.
And then it happened. I thought definitely after last year he didn't win I don't think he won a road game like a full calendar.
No, we haven't won one in over a calendar. It was January 2023.
Yeah,
which leads to a bigger point.
Well, that's what I like about the Buckeyes. Though. They'll be willing to spend, make a move. The dude from Alabama, I saw like he was one of their targets. So I'm curious to see what they do. Nate Oates, that's his name.
Which means Ryan Day, you're on the clock.
All right, here we go. We will have plenty of time to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes and their NIL.
I'm really self-conscious about this Ryan Day thing.
Yeah, I very much am. But hey, I want to say, everybody, before we go around, CJ, final thoughts, final words, anything, get it out before we.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where the We Like Sportz Show goes with his Burger King collab. And having them as a sponsor, I think will be big for us.
Nice. There you go. Keith, Dr. Eddie Black, what do you got, my guy?
Hey, tomorrow, check me out on All About Sports 216.
It's getting weird. Hey, it's new. So you're getting used to it.
It's new and improved and everything. We'll be talking about things that they can do to improve the All-Star game.
Ooh. not have it? Okay.
You know it's bad if the celebrity game was better than the All-Star game.
And it is. I want to give a shout out to my daughter because she had senior night last night at Taze Valley.
Okay.
We won in basketball. So, and shout out to it's my family in general, but just it's part about life and things, and you got families. We all have families, and it's to maneuver this. But I enjoy my time every week with you guys, and look forward to moving forward with the We Like Sports Network and the things that CJ was talking about. And I can't wait to get free fries with that Burger King deal that we got.
You gotta do it, man. They've been upgraded. You gotta use the promo on the app. You gotta use the promo code.
Just put We Like Sports in, and then you get your free fries.
They'll upgrade it from a medium to a large.
Only at participating Burger Kings.
You gotta just try it in the app.
I don't know if anyone's participating yet, though.
Also, I got one more thing for breakhead news.
Yes,
the Chicago Bears just hired Jennifer King as their first ever female assistant coach.
Oh, congratulations out there. Hey. We like sports, we like women, and that's always a great thing. But, hey, I want to say to everybody out there, thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the We Like Sportz Show. We're glad that you tuned in. We like sports, but we like you, and we're glad you tuned in. Until next time, I believe Monday. See you then, and heads up, and we will see you. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you, CJ.